the next 30 minutes and the next topic, we will do a demo. So if you guys don't have a Terraform setup already, or you don't have Azure setup, it's better to use setup while listening this one. So today, the same slide. I will not introduce myself again. So today we talk about what is the infrastructure as a code, why it's important, and what is the Terraform, and what is the components of the Terraform. And as usual, disclaimer, these informations we share today is or know-how. So it may be not updated. So if you do any production decision regarding with this information, it's worth to double check. So what is infrastructure as a code? Infrastructure as a code is actually a way to run infrastructure with using a code. And what this means? So like as we discussed today, even if you want to run a single page website, you have to deploy a multiple resources in cloud. In early days, when you want to set up a website, it's just easy. You just deploy a simple virtual machine and put Nginx in it, and then run everything over there. But today is actually not that. So since the cloud is working this way, the things are overcomplicated. And the issue is, if we need multiple servers, multiple websites, or in our organization, if we need multiple resources to deploy, it just became overcomplicated, and it comes with their own problems. Like, okay, I set up right now, but how I set up again 1,000 times? Or this is working, why this is working, and this is not working, why this is not working. Imagine that. You are working on a website, and it was not working in the dev environment, so you just work on it a lot. And finally, after 3 hours of struggling and asking ChatGPT, you just finally make it done, and it's finally working. But it's in dev environment, right? And you are working as an infrastructure or DevOps engineer, and your teammates are working on the code, and they take 3 months them to finish the code. So there is a 3 months between time when you set up a dev server and when you set up the production server. So how are you gonna remember that, how you set up it? It's not easy to remember, right? But you have to do it exactly the same thing and exactly the same way with an environment like this. So today we will set up a basic Nginx web server in Azure Web App, and we will see how it is difficult to set up while using UI. And you will imagine that doing this every day, like hundreds of times. And so that's why we need a solution, right? We have to set up these servers automatically, or like imagine that you have to like make an update for a couple of thousand servers. It's a lot of work. So we came with like industry came with some kind of configuration files, and they said, hey, there's this configuration file. If you put this configuration file, this server will be configured the same way. And after some point, this configuration file it just become overcomplicated, and they become a language. They become a way to do that. So I have a quick demo. This is not related to the demo you will do, but I just asked one of my clients yesterday. Their system is not active, so there is nothing to worry about. So I will show real examples of their code base, that how they use it. And also I will talk about how you can manage this with Git. Imagine that you just create some server or some project in your dev, and you want to merge this to the stage or merge this to the prod. So what you can do is you can just commit this, in a repository, and you can just run this with a GitHub Actions, which I think you will learn or you will learn tomorrow. And after that, when you just commit a configuration file, it will automatically go to a server and configure that server. If you merge this code to the production, it will go to the production server and it will do the exactly same configuration to production server. And why this is important? Because in Git world, we have some golden tools like branch protection. Like I'm working in a financial company and we have probably a millions of dollars income. So this means that if we do something wrong in IT side, we may lose potential millions if we just like shut down a service for a couple of hours. It will be really bad for us. So that's why we have to make sure that an intern cannot go and publish a new software patch without any approval. So what we do in Git, we do a branch protection. So you cannot push something to production branch without permission, right? You are creating a pull request, and if somebody, your manager, review your pull request and approve that, then you can push your code to production. But in infrastructure, let's imagine that you are just connecting one EC2 instance, one virtual machine with SSH. So we need a similar system. So what we came with is actually using Git for having this ability. I will briefly show some of the pull requests. So this is our Terraform repository. And as you can see, we have different branches for different environments. And also, as you can see, all of the infrastructure updates coming with a pull request. For example, this is a deletion of a server. If you look at the changed files, you can see that some load balancers are deleted. And you can see that like some rules, some services are deleted because this was an old project. And this all of the deletion is approved by a manager, and all of the deletion has a significant historical information there. And also, you can just like approve this. Also, if you don't want to delete servers, you can just revert the pull request and your Terraform file will be reverted. So because of this kind of reasons, we need the infrastructure as a code. But do you need infrastructure as a code if you are just one guy and working a single page website? Maybe you don't need. Just decide it if you want to do this manually or not. For me, I'm using Terraform every day, so doing everything in Terraform is easier than like logging to UI and doing there. So that's why even the personal projects I'm using Terraform, but you may do differently. So then what is the Terraform? The Terraform is, it's actually a giant configuration file, which you can manage the resources. Terraform is a product from a HashiCorp, and it is written with the HCL. This is the name of the language. I will explain this later. And this Terraform is a bunch of plugins. And these plugins, you can just like control to any cloud providers. Let me show you like some example of the Terraform providers. So as you can see from here, you can, I think, literally control every cloud or every SaaS solution with Terraform because they have a bunch of things. Even I was not know that you can control Discord with Terraform. It's actually also new to me. So Like you can also see the big ones, the Google, AWS, Azure here, but also you can just use Terraform for managing DigitalOcean servers. You can just use Terraform for managing Heroku. You can just use Terraform for managing, I don't know, Scaleway or Rampart. So, and also, if you have a hosting company, if you want to start a hosting company in Korea and give us services, you can also write a custom provider for your company, and the people can use Terraform for managing your infrastructure as well. And while we're writing Terraform, we use a language named HCL. HCL is a configuration language. So this is not a language like Python, and you are not saying like, do this. You just say that, oh, there's a one beautiful server over there, and this beautiful server has a beautiful internet connection with this internet gateway, which is connected to this subnet. And you just define your infrastructure with HCL language. And when you run it, it's actually do what you want to do. And we have some key concepts about running, like writing this language. One of them is resources. Resources is every single object in the cloud or provider or the SaaS company, whatever, they are resources. And we have a pretty easy syntax. And we say that, hey, this is a resource name. For example, it can be AWS subnet, it can be S3 bucket, it can be CloudFront, it can be front door, it can be EC2 instance, it can be anything. And then we have a local name. The local name, I'm not saying that this is the name which will be seen in the AWS. I'm saying that this is the name which we refer this in our Terraform configuration file. And then the configuration. For example, we talk about subnets today, and right now we are seeing a subnet here. So I'm saying that I have a VPC named private subnet A. And this VPC is at this VPC ID. This is the ID of the VPC. And I'm saying that the local IP definition is this. And this is in region, some region. This is a variable. And I'm saying that the name in the cloud, this name, and that name is different than each other because this name you will see in the AWS, but the other name you will see inside the file. And then I will just give an environment because usually I'm running my development environment, my test environment, my staging, and my UAT environment in the same place. So then I'm just giving a tag. So you don't need to understand exactly what configuration is because for understand this, you need to understand a little bit how this subnet working in AWS. So I'm just trying to show you like how we can write this language. And also we have data. So data is basically that there is some resource in Azure, but we didn't manage it by Terraform. So somebody just came and this person created a role. We remember we talked about role in infrastructure access management. I said that you can just create a policy that this person can access this server and assign this to role and assign that role to a person or a server. So somebody just log into Azure and create a role named ECS execution role. And right now, I want to create a backend using ECS Firewall. I have a container. I want to run this in the ECS. So what I say is, hey, I have to give an execution role. I have to say that, hey, run the server with this role. But this role is not in Terraform. How can I define it? I can say that data, the name of the role, and then it's import the role to the Terraform, and when I need to use it, I can use like this. Any question? Okay. The next part. And we, of course, have a variables like array language. So these are the variables. You can set these like environment variables from the outside of the Terraform, or you can just set the default values. So for example, let's say that we will run a server. We will say that, hey, this server name is my application server, and region is South Korea data center access zone A. And my container is open at 8080. My container port is 8080. And my container CPU is 200 CPU, and my memory is 500 megabytes of memory. So we can just define this as a variable, and then we can use that here. I think there is a gap. So I'm not sure if there's an example over there, but we can just use this information while opening a server, and then we can just set these variables differently, and we can deploy this exactly same thing 1,000 times, and then we have 1,000 different servers with different CPUs, memories, and names. And lastly, we have locals, and this is also something like variables, but the variables you cannot change while code is running. Like that has to be predefined. Like you cannot assign them any values while running your code, but with the locals you can assign them new values. You can say that, hey, just randomly create me an ID address, and then you can use it in some place. For example, what we do here is we submit some information, some text, and then as you can see, we use the merge command and map these text to this VPC. Today we will only do little examples. So like the locals and like playing with them will not be actually today's topic. And also, okay, let's say that we are running this, and this Terraform knows the state. So if we have a machine with 500 gigabytes of storage, Terraform knows this. If we want to change in the Terraform, we can change it. If you do a 600 and run the Terraform code, it will make the 600. But what if somebody just log into our Azure account and change it manually? What happens? When you run the Terraform thinks that the state has to be 500. But no, right now it's a 700 in reality. So what Terraform do is Terraform make sure that the environment is the same as Terraform configuration. So Terraform will reduce that memory to the 500 gigabytes. And Terraform needs to store the state, right? So that's why we have a state files. So when a Terraform interact with an object, or when a Terraform have a state, Terraform just write a state information. You can teach this kind of database, the Terraform's database. It's not that complicated as a database, or you cannot store any value, but this works as Terraform's database. And this state files is really important because if you touch them, you may break your environment entirely, and it is dangerous to touch the state files. So don't touch the state files unless you know what you do. And let's say that we are having the state files, but we are working with teammates. And this is running on my local or your local, but state files is in my local. So when you run the Terraform, what will happen? Since the state files you have does not know the state files I have, the Terraform will start to bug. And Terraform start to delete some resources, or Terraform start to create some resources, or Terraform start to crash. So that's why if you are working as a team, it's important that everybody use the same state file. But sometimes these files are a little bit expensive to put on a Git because sometimes they are heavy. So we don't want them to put in a Git. And there's some common practice that sometimes people put these files to S3 buckets and writes an automation that use or mount this state files from S3. Or sometimes people use something called Terraform Cloud, or as an old name, Terraform Enterprise. And people just like put these files there, like, and run the Terraform over there, not the person's computers. And also the Terraform has a magnificent documentation. I think one of the best documentations I ever read is a Terraform documentation. Especially every plugin you use has a different kind of documentation. So AWS write AWS documentation, Google writes Google's documentation. So it is worth to look at it, and it is easy to understand. So you can just go to registry.terraform.io and select the provider you use, and then start to look the documentation. And it is really easy to deploy things after CD documentation. So this is the theoretical part about why we need a Terraform. And the next part will be, let's deploy an application with Terraform. If you have any questions in this point, let's talk. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the talk. What are the available options for the security management? The secret management in the Terraform, like keys, tokens, compared to the Ansible, which has the Ansible Vault option?
So basically, Terraform gets the keys from. Oh, okay. The first of all, Terraform is not work on the agents. So Terraform is working on one single machine, and then Terraform is calling the APIs of the cloud provider. So Terraform is not technically touching your code. Terraform is like calling to AWS, and AWS touch the resources. So that's why Terraform only have your cloud credentials, which in a default way, it is getting from environments. But if you are working in Terraform Cloud or Terraform Enterprise, you can just put them in Terraform's vault, and you can make them to use from there, or you can put them in GitHub Action Secrets, and you can use there as well. Any other questions?
Doesn't Terraform have the ability to mark some variables as secret?
Yes.
Do we want to mention that?
Well, so if you are running a Terraform Enterprise or Terraform Cloud, you can also mark some variables as secrets. And these variables will be on write only. So even you are the one who's putting there, you cannot read that.
So one example you showed was using Terraform to configure Discord. And I guess Discord is something we can understand mostly. And so like, what's an example of how you might use Terraform to configure Discord?
Well, I don't know. I actually, my first time see that they also configured Terraform.
What would you speculate how it might be used?
Well, creating the channels, maybe, or making the rules. I'm also not a Discord user, by the way, but I can just give an example from Slack, because I don't know if they're exactly the same things in Discord as well, but you can create the channels, and you can create the rules for these channels, like who can speak, who cannot speak, who can call this channel, or who can ping a message this channel. So I'm speculating that you can say that, hey, this is a channel and this user group has this authority over this channel. And when you apply it, the channel will be automatically. You can just create thousands of channels automatically and give it thousands of rules automatically. And if someone come and delete all of them, you just click again and then deploy it again. By the way, like I tried to write a Terraform provider a couple of times, and it's actually really fun to do that. And also today I learned that Kakao has a cloud, and I'm wondering about if Kakao Cloud has a Terraform provider. If it's not, maybe I can just fork a project and start a project to write an open source Terraform provider for Kakao Cloud. And maybe I set up, or maybe I sponsor the project.
Unfortunately, Neighbor already has a Terraform, so you can't do that.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe
Kakao has one.
I don't know, but Neighbor does. So Neighbor's one. You can check the account. You found it on GitHub?
Kakao also has it. Well, even the Kakao has a Terraform provider. Any other question?
Oh, Discord Terraform.
I think it's like creating channels and then
Category channels, like,
well, I never guessed that Discord has a Terraform provider. If you guys don't have any questions, we can start to, yeah.
So you said like the Terraform has the state, kind of all of the configurations.
Yes. Correct.
And if the kind of configurations in the cloud is different, the one in the Terraform will work, right?
Yes.
So let's say some user with like lots of privileges, like the roles, maybe like the end user, and it changes something in the cloud. And this is not kind of the same as Terraform state. So how does it work in reality? Like they kind of, as you said, the Terraform also has credentials and also kind of use something like Seollal or something different to log in the account. So how does it know and how does it prevent to do some actions?
Well, the thing is, how the Terraform running in there is you just create a user for Terraform and give the case to the Terraform lab or just put in an environment variable. It depends where you run the Terraform, but Terraform access with using these users privileges. So if these users you give credentials to Terraform does not have access to do something, Terraform also cannot do the access. Also, in the state file, Terraform is tracking some resources. For example, we just create a virtual machine with Terraform, and it's there. And also create a second virtual machine without Terraform. And when the Terraform state files look what's happening, the Terraform will don't touch that instance because this instance is not created by Terraform, not tracked by Terraform in any means. So the Terraform will ignore that change. Terraform will not look at change in the first place. But let's assume that you have one web application. And this web application is supposed to run with 2 gigabytes of memory and 4 cores. And some admin user came and changed this to 8 cores of CPU and 16 gigabytes of memory. And when you run the Terraform, Terraform will recognize, hey, I configured this machine, and this machine is working different than I configured. And the Terraform will be force this machine to be the state the Terraform knows. Terraform will override your change.
So will there be some kind of signals when you change some cloud things? It will be sent first to the
No. So we have to run Terraform. We have two main commands. One is Terraform plan. In the Terraform plan, when we run this command, Terraform is acting like doing that, but don't do that. Like try to do, but not actually do that, and just plan what we'll do. Like see what is the difference between the current state file and the current condition, and show that hey, somebody changed this. And when you apply it, it just reverts that change. So this Terraform is not get a signal from a cloud provider and revert the configuration. But some of the companies I work with, they had some kind of cron jobs, which is running Terraform plan and apply every 5 minutes. So if you change something, in a couple of minutes, it's just reverted. Most of the times, big companies like has 100 of servers, they don't want to control everything by hand because like after one point you cannot control everything, and like you end up with paying thousands of bucks. So then they sometimes force Terraform to keep state as much as approved by pull requests, and in pull requests only managers can approve, and they check the potential prices of the services. Another question?
Can I add to that one a little bit, just to clear up some stuff? So Terraform, in essence, it's just an API client. That's all Terraform is, okay? It's an API client, and it tracks the state of what it has been told about. Okay, so Emma shared that TF state file earlier, right? Anytime you write code in Terraform or something, Terraform will add it to the state. Okay. Anytime there's a deviation between the code, the Terraform state, and the actual infrastructure, for the things that Terraform knows about from either the code or the state, Terraform will try to make all three of these things match. If it doesn't, if all three don't match, it will either update its state to match reality, or update the infrastructure to match the code you've written. That's it. If you make a VM in the cloud system directly, not through Terraform, Terraform has no idea about it. It's not tracking Terraform state. It's not tracking Terraform's code to Terraform. It does not exist. So Terraform only knows about the resources that have been configured, either imported into the state or written the code. And it only performs actions when you trigger it. It's not like a managed service. I mean, there is Terraform Cloud, which I'm not terribly familiar with, but it only does stuff when you do Terraform command, and that's it. It's just API. Is that help? Okay, thank you. All right, sorry for jumping in there. Other questions?
No questions? Okay. So before start, can everybody write Terraform to their CLI? Terraform to their CLI. And can you guys see the similar output? Who cannot see that? Who can see that? Wow, everybody set up. Okay. So can everybody write AZ or check that if Azure command line is already set up or not? When you write AZ, you guys see this? Who can see that? Who can see that? Okay, you have to set up Azure CLI. Who has a Azure account? Okay, so first of all, we have to connect Azure CLI to our Azure account. So we will write Azure login. And these commands will just start a process that you just go to web browser and log in there and come back here. And after that, you have to see that when I write account check, you have to see this information. Who can see similar information? Okay, let's little bit wait to everybody to log into Azure. And who cannot see information? I will help them. Okay, but close it up. So I think everybody's okay, right? We're still set up. Still set up? Okay.
Just go ahead and follow that. Once you have installed, do AZ log.
So I will just open this directory with Visual Studio Code. Here we go. Okay. We have to zoom this here as well. Who else is still set up? So I will create a file named main.tf. Is it readable?
Can you guys read it? One more if you can.
Just a second. Can you guys see? Okay, so at the left side, this is the content of main.tf, and I just open the terminal at the right side for me to write comments easily. So I will start with Terraform init. Does everybody see the screen? Who see the green screen? Okay. So then first we need to say to Terraform that which provider we have to use. So I'm starting with, hey, Terraform, and say that required providers, and I need Azure RM. It is HashiCorp Azure RM, and the version we will use today is 3.0.0.3.0. So in this way, we say that we will use this provider. But fun fact, you can use more than one provider at the same time. Let's imagine that half of your infrastructure is in Kakao Cloud because you want to store the data from the Korean customers inside of Korea. So you can just define Kakao Cloud and Azure Cloud at the same time. And you can say that, hey, just run these machines in the Kakao and run these machines in the Azure. But today we will only work on Azure. So I just say that, hey, just set up this provider. And then I will say that, hey, provider, Azure RM, and you have this kind of features.
Before we start, is there any extension for visual tools?
I think I'm using Terraform as a language mode, but also I'm using Copilot. So I think the one who like finish my sentences is actually GitHub Copilot. Okay, I will close the left side because I don't have enough space. And let me guys share the what I write to Discord. Then you can just copy and paste.
Now you can make a new Terraform file with you.
I have a question. Which channel I supposed to share the code?
General is fine.
General is fine. I share this exactly same code in chat, so you can just get from Discord. And since I add new provider, I will run Terraform init command second time to make sure if it needs to install something, it will install. Yes, it says that, oh, it's installing Azure provider. As you guys see, my .terraform file and my provider file and my hash logs just came here. So these are the necessary files for the Terraform to work. But if you are using Terraform Enterprise, you don't need them because this has to be in cloud. Or also, you can, like, if you are working with a team or a big company, you will already put these state files in the cloud, so you don't have to see here. But for today, we will have these files here. So I run Terraform init second time. Does anybody needs help? Okay.
You're still catching up. 1, 2, 3, still catching up. Do any of you need a hand?
What was that? Second minute?
It's the same, Terraform init. Okay, so I just, I will just make it bigger. But I noticed that I forget to tell you guys about something. So I will notice that right now. I will just show you right now. First, I will do the exactly same thing in Azure from the UI, and then we will do in Terraform. So I just go to the Terraform a little bit quick, but this is the Azure portal. I'm not expecting you guys to do what I do here because I'm just doing this for only showing you. So you don't have to follow these steps. This is the way without Terraform. So everybody can see the screen, right? Okay. I will came here and I will say that, hey, create a resource group. And I select my subscription and I say test 3. And since we are at West Europe, oh, we are not West Europe. I do this presentation in West Europe. Korea South. Okay. What are the resource groups? So resource group is actually basically a folder for your project. If you are working on a project, you can just create a resource group. You can create your resources inside of this resource group, and this will help you to delete them later. or this is help you to like give an access time later. For example, you have some projects like there's a one project related with e-commerce, and there's a one project related with your SAP products. So what you can do is you can create two separate resource group, and one of them, your SAP guys, you give full access, and the other resource group, you can give all access to the your engineering team. I am just doing everything from the UI, and then I will do everything in the Terraform. So I just go, and these are the texts. By the way, this is not related with Terraform. I'm just showing you because I think most of you didn't operate any resource in Azure yet, so I think it's easy for me to show here.
So real quick, you don't expect them to copy what you're doing.
No.
Hey guys, to be clear, don't do what he's doing here, otherwise you're gonna mess up your Terraform.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. So I can take resources. I can say that environment is development, and I can say that the office is sale. So like in the next stages, I can use this text for access my resource, or I can say that, hey, delete all environment devs, or give access to give Korean team access to all resources which has a Office Korea tag. So these are for just like tagging the resource. They are not important. And here I'm creating a resource group. So right now I have a resource group named test3. And inside of this resource group, first of all, today's topic is we will deploy a Docker image. We will deploy Nginx. I will not deploy the Nginx because I need to use it as a load balancer, but Nginx is hello world of the cloud. So if you can deploy Nginx, probably you can deploy anything. So that's why I'm just simply deploying Nginx. But before the deploying Nginx, I need some kind of service plan. You can think that it is a server which runs my application. So I will came here and I will say that, hey, I want to create a service plan. Yep, app service plan. I'll say create. And I say that, yes, this is my subscription one. The source group is test3. And the name is example service plan delete me later. Then I can remember that I will delete this later. And then I can select the operating system. I can say that, oh, I need the Windows, I need a Linux. And I can say that, hey, I need this to be in Korea. And then I can choose a pricing plan. So we have a different pricing plan for running servers. We have a pricing plans. It's basically free, but it's a really limited, so you can just only use 60 minutes CPU. If you run just an example website, this will be already enough. If you run some website that a couple of people visit, the free is enough. But today I will go with basic one because free has some limitations, like you cannot connect your own domain, or you cannot run a containers in it. So that's why I will go with B1. And as you can see, the pricing, I have a monthly pricing and I have a hourly pricing. So as I told you guys before, if you run something in cloud and if it's on-demand plan, you can just pay how long you run it. So I will run this, probably I will finish this demo in a couple of hours. So I will only pay probably like 40 cents, not even 40 cents. I will pay 2 cents. And then just delete it, and I will only spend 2 cents. But if I forget to delete, end of the month, my bill will be $13. So I select the basic plan. and I go to text. As I show you at the other side, you can just create text. In advanced usage, we usually use bunch of text, but I see that, oh, this will create this, and this, and I click the create. And while this creating, I want to show you guys something. Pricing. So this is really helpful tool. Most of the class providers has it. So if you are planning to deploy infrastructure, you can just select that what do you guys use and add this and see the end cost. For example, there's nothing here. Let me add. I will run the app service here. I will run this in Korea. This will be a Linux, and this will be a premium here, and I need 14 gigabytes of memory, and I need 5 instance, and they will only work 200 hours per month. And then, of course, I need a database. I will ask Postgres SQL database, and I will say that, hey, I want this to be in Central US. I want this to be in single server. I need a basic server, and I just need the cheapest configuration. I will run this only like 1 month, and I need 5 gigabytes of storage, and I want the redundancy LRS. I have a blog post about this. If you guys want to read it, you can just write my name in the Google and it shows. And then I say that, oh, this will be cost me $24 and additional 50 cents for the storage, and for the backups additional $10. If I don't want backup, no, I don't want backup, and I don't have to pay backup. So this is how the Azure calculate the cost. And let's also deploy storage. Blob storage is the equivalent of S3. Let's say it's ESTS, let's say Qatar, why not? Let's say this will be blob storage, and the performance will be standards, and it will be version 1 general purpose. I need a 1 terabyte of storage, and I will do like 100,000 readings, and then I will list these files like this many times, and I will read these files this many times. Like, for example, if this was a social media thing, imagine that I'm posting a picture in the Instagram. I'm writing 1 time, right? But my picture is like 10,000 times. So this means that people look this picture 10,000 times. So maybe I need to read them more. So you can just see that which operation you do in cloud, what is the cost. And as you can see that these costs are really, really small amounts, but if you have a petabytes of data, yes, this will become a really huge cost. So, and also you can add support. Also, if you have an agreement, you can just pay advance, or you can just like pay for 3 years and just use it very cheap. The Microsoft has different offers, and see, yeah, it's complete. So before deploying any resource, I'm usually calculating how much I use it, and then if I like the price, I deploy it. So we deploy an app service plan, and after this, I will deploy an web app on this, and I will run an Nginx on this. So I think the name is app service. Yes. No, not app service. Web app. Okay, let's create a web app. Test tree, and the application name is this is app name, and let's deploy this in Korea. And let's say this, oh, this is a container. This is a Linux container. And this is in Korea. And let's select my delete this later service plan. And as you can see, there's a many different configuration, right? It's already start to be confusing. So, and I can just add a database or something, and then I have to select containers. I will go quick start, and I will select Nginx, and this is the Nginx location example, and then I can do a network. We are just deploying a single application, guys, and this is already confusing in the cloud. But and imagine that you just do all of the settings many times in a day, and imagine that you just do these settings, and then after 6 months you have to do the same settings to another application because your team is pushing production. If you don't do a one single switch, the same with the dev, your application may respond different on the production. So you have to make sure that like what you do on the dev, what you do on the UAT, and what you do on the production has to be same. But it is, as a human, we do mistakes. So it is kind of impossible to do this without mistakes. So my application is, I guess it's ready. Let's wait it to load. And then we will do the everything in Terraform. What do you guys think about it? Well, I was planning to do a session about how to set up Kubernetes in Azure. Then I decided, oh, we already do Terraform lessons. Maybe I can just share you the Terraform file and you can just click and run it. No, it's not ready yet. Is there any questions, by the way? Let's have the questions while waiting. Okay, maybe we can turn back this later because, oh, it's deployed already. Yeah. It's loading. Now I have to complain about it and it will work. Okay, we will look this later. No, it's not work this time. Okay, literally, guys, let's look this later. So, we turn back to Terraform, and right now, what we do the resource group, right? At first, so we have to do the resource group again. So I'm saying that the resource Azure.
You are.
Resource group, and let's name this example because I'm really bad at having names. So, okay, the name is example resource, and this will be run in Western Europe. I will keep it Western Europe because maybe the Korea Azure does not have many resources. Maybe it's kind of a little bit slow. Okay, well, let me check if I have already. Oh yeah, we see the Nginx. Okay, so let's see that if I have already named example class. Yeah, I don't have. Okay, so I just say that, hey, I will create a resource named example resources, and the location will be in West Europe. And after writing this, I just go here to my terminal and say that Terraform, please plan for me. And what Terraform do right now is Terraform just look the current state and what is the state we supposed to build. And as you guys see, I say, hey, I will create an instance, and I says that this will be created. And when I say Terraform apply, it will just plan again, and it says that, hey, are you sure that I'm just running this? And I said, yeah, here we go. And then the Terraform will automatically create this resource for me. It says creating. Still creating. And it says, yeah, complete. So let's go here and check if it is here. Yeah. As you can see, we have an example resources. And this example resources is in West Europe. Okay. Let's make sure that everybody comes to this spot. I will share this code from the Discord channel. You can just copy and paste, and after copy and paste, you can run Terraform apply. Terraform apply. Can you run Terraform? Maybe.
Anyone else see
If you want, you can run. Since we don't have Terraform, you can estimate the script files. Oh, you just Terraform it and yes, okay. Promise the server. Terraform. So querying if you want Terraform. And it says that it will create these resources if you write yes, it will create. So is anybody inside?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all here. Probably because we're doing questions. Maybe, but it's I think it's being slow. It's trying to work here. I don't know what something will be able to do. Yeah, we need to just set up, fix up this one. Be careful. Oh, no. It's not gonna. So when the Terraform is doing operations, it locks the state. Controls. Oh.
Any other questions? Any other problems?
Controls here. Can you already help out with? This is a little more complicated. I'll help out this guy.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
Almost one. Oh, so this is asking if you actually want to do it.
You try
So
that.
do you actually want to apply these changes that he? Yes, he
No,
does. So
I-
just enter the verb. So you have to answer yes or no. This is curious. So, yeah, just to make sure that you don't.
You guys also use Terraform validate commands for validate what you write is true. You don't but it's for the issue. Is anybody self? Is there apply commands works? Okay.
Maybe the first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you already have the example. Can you just log into Azure and check if it's already there?
You did that.
You guys can log into Azure and check if the source code is already there. Just go to portal.azure and click the search the resource groups. No, these are the releases. Just use the search bar and write resource groups. Yeah, here you are. Can you see your resource group? It is right Azure value. Maybe did you write Terraform units? Are you the right location? Yes. Can you write the CW?
No, wait, I want that.
Can you help me? It's one next step. Okay, we write, we create the resource group. Now we will create app service plan. So this is the one we changed the how many CPUs, how many memories we have it. So and I'm writing a resource as always, Azure RAM service plan, and let's name this example again because I'm not good at giving names. Okay. And say that, hey, your name will be an example service plan and your location will be same with the Azure example groups location. So did you guys notice that how this is work? So like we have a Azure resource group over there which names example, and I can say that, hey, I want to use this location value. So if I change this West Europe to something else, this means that this service plan location also will be changed. And then I'm saying that, hey, your resource group name will be the same with this group's name, because we are basically creating these objects inside of these objects, right? And then I will say that your operating system will be Linux. And then I will say that your SKU name will be B1. So this B1 is what we select in here. Test 3. This is the B1. This is the pricing plan that we see that how many memories and how many CPUs we assign. So I also select B1 here, and I'm copying pasting what I did to you guys. You can copy and paste from Discord channel. And rest, plan this. Apply this. The applies may take a couple of minutes. And it says me that, hey, I will create a service plan and ID will know after the apply and kind we will learn later. And the location will be West Europe and worker count we'll know later. And the per-site scaling enabled, not enabled, and the other values. We can see all of these values. And after I apply it, if I turn back to, let's make this two near to each other. Let's go to the resources. And in example resources, I will see example app service plan. And when I go there, I can see that, yes, it is deploying. Yes, it has a pricing plan B1. So let's wait that everybody can see this. Everybody can see this. You guys already applied. Is it run correctly? Let's wait a little bit. Who needs help? Who else needs help? I copy and paste to Discord. If you want, you can also copy this from Discord.
That's one.
So we didn't deploy the service. We just only put the service plan, and next step we will deploy the container itself. Anybody needs that?
This replace with leaves and this better resource. So it created the resource, it created the same.
Yeah, because this already reflected the source. So that's why it's not creating with it. Anybody needs some? Okay, I'm going to the next steps. Is no one needs some? So right now we will deploy to web app itself. Okay. So I'm starting with resource again and say that this will be Azure Linux web app, and then the name will be example as always. And then I'm saying the name will be example Linux web app. Probably not, because probably there is a lot of example left. Example code. And guys, this must be unique. And then I will say that this location will be the same as the resource group location. And then I will say that this service plan ID will be this service plan's ID. And then I will say that we say the name, location, service plan ID, and resource group name is the same with the example resource group name, which we create over here. And then I will start to do configurations, and I will write my configurations in it. I will say that, hey, I want this to be coming from container registry and use the managed identity false, because this is just an example and we will get this Docker image from Microsoft repository. So then I will say that my application stack will be Docker image, or you can just say this will be a node and you can just deploy without Docker. You can just say PHP, .NET, anything. But today we will work with Docker. So I will say that this will be a Docker image. Let me copy and paste because I think we have 1 minute left. And I will also copy this to Discord channel for you guys to copy. So what we do here, we just say that, hey, I want to create a Linux web app, and the name will be example, and the location is the same with our resource group location, and resource group name will be the same with our resource group, and the service plan ID is this service plan ID, and my site configuration is I will not use the managed identity, it's false, and my application stack is Docker image, and which is Nginx, and coming from Microsoft repository, and I will say that websites enable app service storage false, and this will not attach disk to this web app. And when I run this with the Terraform apply commands, it will show me that what will be created. And also, as you can see, there is some other features here which we didn't touch because we are just using default ones. But if you want HTTP enabled to be true, you can just write here, say that HTTP enable something, and you can just change the settings as well. But for right now, I will say yes and apply this. And this will automatically deploy a Linux web app for me. So as you see, what I do in the UI is really hard to duplicate. But right now, I can just copy and send this code, and then you guys can run exactly same replica of what I do. So this is why infrastructure as a code is really important. And I can just like do this couple of times. And it does not matter how many servers I create, I will just run and it will create. I think I need 10 more minutes because I will change something. Okay.
The next session, I think is. So,
Anybody needs help? Can you just create the web app? Can I see the version? And it says, okay, let me copy and paste the following ones. Okay. I will copy and paste the old code. Maybe you can just copy in one time.
where you said that you have has to be unique. Can we change it?
Yeah, because you cannot create the same website in West Germany because I already created.
The name is unique.
Yeah. I copy and paste all of the code to the Discord. Maybe you guys can copy from there. And also let's check, let's refresh this and see that if the web app is here. Yes, the web app is here. And when I go inside and when I say browse, let's wait this to what? Yeah, because who needs help? Who needs help? Okay, it's ready. And see if we can see the Nginx. Yes, we see the Nginx, and as you can see, the German is actually faster than Korea somehow. I don't know why. .NET.
So we have to put our, like, the one in place and then to change the speed change. Okay.
Why you need access from me? You are doing everything in Terraform. Show me the Terraform code. Yeah, where's the name? Okay, change the name. You should already change it. And it's right now is applied. Okay, just wait 1 minute and it will be applied. Who can see the Nginx page? Okay, I will start from here. Internet connection. You are looking at the internet, so let's start. This is the meta. This is gross, but you have to wait this the website to be loaded first. Yeah, yeah. Other words, slowly using this. Yeah, that's it. So show me the. No, no, show me the other page. The connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
I die dimostracja, to po prostu
Let's try as maybe just because it seems like the English container is not. Anyone needs help? Can you just try copying all code and paste here? Maybe I have a typo somewhere.
Well, they may need to change the name because otherwise.
Yes.
DNS.
Yes, yes. The name has to be unique.
For the first time, I go there. Yeah, getting.
Okay, what's happening when you say it? Okay, run Terraform.
Zero on URL is a HTTPS. That's why. Should I take out that? Yeah.
Let's see if there's a difference. Is anybody else thinking?
Yeah.
It's not work? Okay, it's a common error, so. Did you fix it? Let's see if it's alright. Because it has to make the whole adjustments, but let's see. You cannot see that anymore. You have to wait. Yeah, now it's it's weird. Okay, I will check on my side. Probably the Nginx spelling or something is wrong. Is your app service plans B1 or something else? Can I check that?
Example, if there was
The one who cannot see the Nginx page, what regions you are trying? West Europe, Germany. And the application stack is Nginx latest, Microsoft. And here it has to be like this. Is this page the same with here?
Is there any slash for? Yeah, there is.
Plain image and text.
Yeah, is there a slash for like
Where-
in the?
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, but is there a slash in your code? Okay. But it's not in the code, right? It's weird. Can you just put a slash here and apply it, and then delete the slash and reapply it? Because I think it cannot find the Nginx, so that's why it's happening. And also maybe you guys can see the logs from here, and then it will show what it's due. So
I guess just, just grab another side. I was just gonna pull through that for help.
well, it's it's actually working on my side, but let's see. Is it fix your issue? Changing the slash? Your one is working, right? You can see the Nginx
So when we put slash in the code,
and apply it.
it doubles it. The deployment center. Just slash.
It's weird. Maybe like your Terraform version is not like properly updated, but maybe mine is not updated or something. But we are using the same provider version. The same error with the others, application error.
Yeah.
Okay, I will try to change it to Nginx from Docker Hub. Let's see.
Maybe I can give you a different.
Okay, mine is still working.
Yeah, I try to delete the slashes and try it again. It's not-
Okay, let's try this configuration. I will share this code again. Let's please try this one because I changed Nginx from Docker Hub from Microsoft Registry. Let's see if this will work. It's weird. It's adding a slash.
Really strange.
It's really strange because there's nothing in the code. And in my version, it's not adding, but their version, it's adding.
Oh, that's very good.
Can somebody check this if the Terraform log HCL the same hashes and the version is the same? Is the hash star same?
What the hell? Yeah.
Is it working on your side?
Something
Is it
different.
like, can you make it like that?
Well, we are using exactly the same version. I have no idea why it's happening. But let's try with the Docker Hub. Did you guys deploy Docker Hub? Docker Hub did not work?
Yeah.
Is also adding slash?
I tried that one as well, and it still didn't.
No, like, is it automatically adding slash?
Like, with new code, it makes it easier.
So if we have to describe it, yeah, you have. Or.
You just copy and paste my code and it's happening. Oh, no.
That might be it.
I'm going to start it. Can somebody try to, the latest code is,
No, it's the same.
is there someone who tried the latest version? What happens?
Without, when you go actually, nice stage. I don't know why, even here, on this one. No, that it must be going based on the this. So you don't have to do before the. Yeah, from what you can. When you think it's from what the people say, like, I can do longer, and you told me how to say. So that we can create more. It's like I need to follow like control. That's good. But like from a teacher's graduation, but I also noticed that. I'm a good one.
Even you get from the backups, slash. But even you get from the backup, so always.
That's a lot.
Because after you delete it, you're not deploying it. You have to tell you the deployment. And also it's at this slash to do it. There as well.
It says image fulfilled.
Yeah, because normally it's supposed to not be slash at there. And also, look, I don't have a slash either as well. You have a view of it. Exactly same platform. In the license, it's not slash. For the units, in the SS, it's with exactly same platform.
Then Terraform board.
So in Terraform version, we just check the hash. I just want to see. Same. Same region.
Going on. I think the internal server error from Docker.
Above Microsoft. It's not necessarily able to do something.
What happens if you just do the image name without the issue?
Right.
Yeah, maybe it's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But this is not going to work because the app service index is not. Get rid of that slash. This should work.
But it's also the same thing that I said, right? In my example, also it's like this.
No, you have a slash that in your example. that-
Okay, just try that. Yeah, maybe that's right.
But when he tried it, he got 500 in document.
500 from Dr.
Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Hub will be Microsoft.
That would be funny.
You know, Microsoft logs Azure. When I was intern in Istanbul office, the Azure was blocked in or like
That's weird.
again.
That's weird. Yeah. But now it should work. Yeah, give it a moment and then check it. Well, back here.
It says at this moment.
So just give it a.
Let me know when the apply is up.
All right, who else is still, I'm gonna turn, for people online, can you edit your Discord message to remove the slash?
Let's see if it's working. It's not later.
Survey says. Do a hard refresh.
Yeah, we may need a hot refresh. Also, we need to wait a little bit.
It might take a little bit to update. What are the
Can,
logs?
can I just check the deployment center again? Also, it is weird, but in my case, also it says that I cannot find the image as well. In my notes, but it's work.
But it worked once. Oh, are you sure it's not crashed remotely though?
I don't think so because I tried to do that and it just.
But if the image pool failed, it might have updated it. For the left assets.
Oh, but there's no slash right now.
Okay. So let's see if it works.
Can I just try again? Yeah. With overview and browse. Something is coming. Something is coming.
Oh. like watching a football game or something.
Facebook test. This is a document URL. I don't know.
Invalid reference format.
Because there's a double slash. Still there's a double slash.
Is that the latest one though? No, and the latest one. Oh, it's pulling. It's pulling. Can you scroll down more? Okay, so it's working. Let's give it a moment.
Okay. So.
Like, do we have to keep the report there?
No, you can report.
It uses, HTTPS by default. I'm also gonna try on my account ever.
Okay.
If I can look around with it.
Troubleshooting through other computers is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even the keyboard configuration is difficult. Look. Image pool failed.
Verify Docker image and credentials. Not found, latest not found, that's odd.
Is the polling complete? Maybe
He said founder, I think.
latest not found. Agents latest not
Why
found.
pulling there is,
Still polling.
yeah, after pulling there is the 500 level. I have added 480 and then started.
Wait, really? Port 80, it should be 443. Because it should be over TLS.
Maybe the Docker Hub has a submission in Germany.
I don't know, but in any case, I'm still surprised that the Azure one did not work. That should have worked. So let me try with Azure and see if I can troubleshoot that side of it.
I changed the quality in order to get that to code iron. Yeah, it works. It works. What do you mean? You see the changes?
He's so excited.
Yeah, I see that. This one, right?
Also, I'm going to use
Yeah.
Korea
Can you share your solution? Yeah. So. I just send a step over to one. Because they just like change the existing order to. Okay. I don't know why it works. Yeah.
Ah, so maybe the original.
Search from issues and I changed Docker to URL to index.docker.io and for.
Okay, so.
So, and also maybe the original didn't work because you had a trailing slash.
Yeah, maybe. So, is everyone happy with the solution? Are you next one? Okay, so you have to say something to this. So you have to change this. Yeah, the both of them, this one and the next one, and the message is in description. You have to stop. Okay. Yeah, just copy and paste this. And then Terraform apply again and say yes. Yours is working as well.
And just copy.
Okay, yours is fine. Do you see it now?
Oh.
This one channel?
I see what you did. Oh, MOY.
Yeah, you can just copy and paste. Sometimes seeing the edgeless is really will make you happy. It's not on.
Ah, so anyway, it might also be because you're using a very old provider.
I'm using 3.0.
Yeah, the latest is 4.
Yeah, but in the documentation, it says 3.0. With the Terraform documentation, I says that 3.0.
Interesting. Okay, because if we look at the provider here, yeah, they're at 4.16.
Yesterday it was say 3.
Whoa, interesting.
I'm really, because I already checked the version 4 something.
It does require additional configuration though, which is my opinion.
Oh, look. I just copied this from here.
Ah, that's why.
They didn't change here.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, that's
So
fine.
maybe that could also help maybe, but yeah, if it's working,
Okay.
whatever. So guys, do be aware that we're using an old version of the Terraform provider. So you may want to upgrade that later.
Still doesn't work? Oh, no, you need to make the. Guys, by the way, you may need to wait till it's full because it's pulling slowly. Or works. By the way, it works as well.
It was working, now I removed it and
Uh,
I'm trying again with the new.
Okay. But it was working as well.
Yes.
Interesting. So in here, you click the box, and in the box, you will see that it's still pulling. So maybe you have to wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, so since we fixed the issue, I want to show you something else. So let's say that everything is working fine, but one of the intern just came and changed something. Let's say that one of your intern came here, click the plan, click the pricing option, and somehow somebody changes to B2, the expensive version, or delete something, or do something you don't want, and your application, let's say, broke because of something. Let's see that if it's updated. Oh, others are so slow. Okay, as you guys can see, this is updated to B2. So, but we don't want this because our configuration is not this way. So when I run Terraform plan, it will check the current code and the current state, and it will show me that something is changed outside of the Terraform. Yeah. As you can see, there is a change. So sometimes there's thousands of different configurations, and while looking at a source and see that, hey, what this guy changed and how this is not working. Like having this and seeing this, what is the change in this fast is actually helping you to debug the issues fast. So I'm sending Terraform apply, and this will be the revert that change. Yes, it showed me that this will revert B2 to B1. So I will say yes. And in a couple of minutes, we will see that it's actually changed. Okay, it says that 0 resource added, 1 resource changed, 0 destroyed. Let's refresh this page and see that. Okay, as you can see, it changed. And what happens if I comment line this block? Any guess? What happens if I comment line this block? What will happen?
Will be deleted.
Yes. Let's just comment this code and run Terraform apply command. And let's see that how will be the Terraform's reaction. Since like this code is not actually here, the file, the Terraform look after the state has to be deleted because you already delete in your code. Let's say yes. And in here, as you can see that it shows with a red minus. And as you can see, it's actually deleting a lot of other resources with it. Like it's deleting all of the outbound IP addresses, outbound IP addresses, all of these configurations, and it will say this resource will be destroyed. And here it says the 0 add, 0 change, 1 destroyed. And when I go to the resource group, example resources, as you can see, I cannot see that web app, but if I uncomment this and apply again, it will automatically deploy the server again. So it's just this basic. I will say yes. And 1 minute later, I will have that other server here. And then after that, we will destroy everything what we do for not pay that $13. It's already 1 minute. Where is my server? Here is it. Yeah.
You just gotta complain.
Yeah, you're just gonna complain and it will be fixed. Like even you can just go here and change that. Hey, I want just transfer this server West Europe to Korea, and then in a couple of minutes you just transfer everything what you do from Korea from West Europe to Korea. So this is the Terraform. If you guys have any question or want to try anything, let's do that. Otherwise, I will destroy everything.
You think, regions from West Europe to Korea, will the data that has been stored in there also transferred, or
So the data objects has like storage or databases. Since the data is written by you, not Terraform, since they are not Terraform's objectives, they will be deleted. But if you create these objects by Terraform, also they go as well. Sometimes when we are working with S3s, we are creating folders with Terraform. So then when we move it, it's also move the folders as well. But the data you write with your computer or the data written by your application will not be moved. And you have to be careful. By the way, it usually says that, oh, you cannot do that. So, and you have to write the force for deleting that.
When we were engineering for application, our application, we create yes.
Yeah. So what you can do is, so as here, we say that Docker up Nginx, right? So tomorrow there will be session about GitHub Actions. And in the GitHub Actions, we will learn that, I don't know the topic, but we will learn that the build.
CI and CD.
Yeah.
Continuous delivery.
Yeah, hopefully we will Dockerize, like you write a Docker build, right? In GitHub Actions, you can write a Docker build, and you can write a Docker push, and you can push your code to the Docker Hub or any registry. So when you push your code to Docker Hub, you can just not give Nginx, you can just say my application something and my application version something something, and then when you run this, it will automatically pull your code and then run it. So I think after the tomorrow's CI/CD lesson, it will be more clear. Any question, or I will destroy? So one story, one of our interns deploy a database with Terraform, then he just comment out the code and he lost the data. But what you can do is you can just create a if you're in the AWS, you can create a backup policy, and you can just keep snapshot your database. If you accidentally delete your database because of some reasons, your snapshots will be there. But usually stateful objects, for example, when I configure a database, I usually not configure in Terraform. Okay, then.
So real quick, there's a reason DevOps engineers get paid a lot.
Yeah.
Right? You don't make those kinds of mistakes. If you're setting up anything that's stateful, like a database, set up backups and test those backups. An untested backup is not a backup. Okay? You want to test restoring from backup at minimum once every 6 months. Okay? Like even in my team at Luna here, we did a database migration and we mucked everything up. We accidentally nuked everything. Unfortunately, we were very lucky. The backup had happened just a couple of hours before. And we didn't have any user activity because it's just an internal tool. We didn't have any user activity going on. So there was no data between the last backup, which was just a couple hours ago, and when we blew up everything. So we were able to restore from backup and everything was cool. But we got lucky. You may not be so lucky. Always take backups. And then even when you deploy, even when there is a backup, you still want to avoid data loss. So just be very careful. There is a very good reason why Terraform asks you to type YES. Not just hit enter, not just hit Y. It makes you spell out the word because you are playing with fire. Don't mess up. When Terraform shows you the proposed changes, read through them carefully. Make sure you understand everything that you are doing. What we were doing here, just like hitting yes all the time, don't do that, okay? The only reason we were going fast like that here is because, we're just mucking around, we're doing small scale stuff, and we don't really care about it. Do not type in and hit yes that quickly in your job, or you will not have that job for very long. Okay? Be very careful with this. I want to make sure that is
Also-
abundantly clear. I know it's sounding funny, but it is genuinely important. Don't mess up.
Also, in Terraform Enterprise, you cannot hit the yes because like these are our environments. And for example, this one, when you want to, this is the same thing what we run in the CLI, but we run here like we select the plan and apply or refresh state or whatever, and then when we apply something. We usually do this with the approval mechanism. So as a company policy, if in the production you apply something, you have to be at least 2 people has to do a review before you apply it. And also we do some kind of disaster drills every couple of months. And it's usually unnoticed. So sometimes our managers came and said that, hey, we delete the all data in the test environment, just restore it in 15 minutes or just restore in 1 hour. And as a team, we are doing a drill that restore everything from scratch. So sometimes this stuff happening. So that's why it's better to test everything. And finally, I'm writing a Terraform destroy command. And when I hit this command, it will plan to destroy, and then it will make sure that I clearly have a concept to destroy, and it will say that, hey, click yes, say yes, and then it will destroy everything. We have example resource here, and we have two resource in it. And here it says that, hey, this will be destroyed. This will be destroyed, and all of these outbound IP addresses, all of these configuration will be destroyed. By the way, these are the potential configs that you can just add here as well. But let's say yes, and then it will delete everything. If you guys don't want to keep these examples and pay $13 to Microsoft, you can also delete via Terraform destroy.
Make sure to do this. If you set up anything, do this. Absolutely do this. Otherwise, you're going to be paying money.
It should be like disappeared right from the recent project or code state.
Just run Terraform destroy, and Terraform will delete everything Terraform. Can I see the Terraform destroy? Maybe you create this in the here. Yeah. Did you create this from UI?
No, I think I didn't.
Oh, because it's recent. Can I just write the source groups? Yeah. When you go to resource groups, you have to be nothing there. Just write a resource group in search bar and look your resource group, and you will see that there is no resource group at all. And also, my destroy is completed. Let's check if these are deleted. Yeah, these are deleted. And when as you can see, the other examples which I create by UI, they are still there, but the main example I create with the Terraform is not here. So anybody needs help about Terraform destroy command?
Also enjoy this. You don't get to use destroy very often.
Yeah. I think I use this command first time in this year. Erode confirm that there is no resource when you write a resource group here, because otherwise you guys have to pay and we will not pay.
There's no reimbursements here. We have no money either.
By the way, if you want to donate, you can also donate as well.
If you don't have income, don't donate. Students, don't donate. Everyone
So,
else, we would love your money.
any other question?
You have this Terraform files.
Well, since there is no since there's no could say what was there? Since there's no export for it, is the mic?
Because they gotta hear it in the stream.
Okay.
No, just talking to the mic.
Okay, since there is no credentials in it, you can just put it in GitHub. By the way, nobody asked that how Terraform can access that or AWS or other account.
I wanted to ask that then we did Azure login now CLI. I assume that
Well, when you do other login, it's just put a configuration file under your root directory named Azure. And inside of that, there is a token. And Terraform knows that your token is there. So when you write Terraform plan or something, it's just look that location and copy from there and use it.
so if you then use Azure login command, if you ask to us to log in.
Well, no, it says that, oh, I don't have credentials. So you can put the same credentials as an environment variable, or you can put these credentials inside your code. But since like putting the credentials and showing us from here is not safe, so that's why. And also like going Azure and copying the credentials is not easy, so that's why I ask everybody to do Azure logins. And also, like most of the times, if you work in professional life, you will not run Terraform in your computer. We usually run in Terraform Enterprise or some kind of other Terraform solutions, like sometimes even Jenkins, we are running Terraform. Any other questions?
But where do you usually keep the code if you don't push it to the cloud?
Oh, we are pushing to GitHub. We are pushing on the GitHub, but we are not pushing any credentials in it. For example, one of my clients has Jenkins for CI/CD process, and when we push to GitHub, it just triggers and pull the code. And in the Jenkins machine, there's a credentials. It is running in the Jenkins machine and show us the logs. Yeah, and also usually the Terraform's user has administrator access to most of the systems. So sharing this access with developer is usually not a good idea. So like when I'm working at my company, if I write Azure login and run the Terraform, probably it will not work because I don't have enough credentials for creating a server.
No.
Any questions?
So rather do you have it just running on the
Okay, I think we don't have any questions.
your client is expecting to also use that yet?
I think this is the end of today's session. Do we have next thing or we
Just the ending discussion.
just ending? I think we are doing an ending discussion right now.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
But when we deploy the production server, do we use Jenkins for CI/CD?
Well, it's your call, but it's better to use. I think Like, if you don't want to have Jenkins, you can just use Terraform Enterprise. And the free version is up to 5 people. And usually the developers doesn't have access to Terraform environment, so only DevOps engineers have it. And if there's a 5 DevOps engineer in a company, this means that this company is already really big. So, for example, on my client, there is 300 people in the IT, the developers, analysts, and there's only 4 DevOps guys, plus me as a consultant. So that 5 people has access to Terraform, and 300 people.
But I don't trust the spam stuff, so let me double check.
Okay, so thank you for listening. I guess this is end of today's discussion and sessions. Please, do you want to do closure?
No, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I'll come back here. Thank you. Yeah. So, real quick, everyone ran the Terraform destroyed, right? Everyone confirmed that.
Who runs the Terraform destroy? Who did run? Who already run?
All right, everyone ran it. Food was not able to run Terraform destroy. All right. When you checked in the Azure portal, the Azure Web UI, everything was gone? Okay, good. We're just trying to cover you guys here. We don't want you to